Hey guys, what's going on? EDAC here. Welcome back. Hope you guys are all having a good day. Hope you guys had a good New Year's and a good holiday as well. No, it's been a little bit since the last video, but your boy got sick with COVID, so that was fun. Started off my new year sick in bed, so that was cool. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for the love on the Ocarina of Time video again. That was the first type of video commentary I've ever done before, so to just see that people really enjoyed it and just all the different opinions of everything with everybody talking about stuff on there and just all their experiences. It was just really cool to see everybody come together and just talk about all of their childhood memories and different experiences with Ocarina of Time. It was super cool, and I just wanted to do a quick thing and just thank you for all the love on that one. The funny thing about this is that I'm sure that you saw with the title, this other video also has to do with Zelda, which was not my intention. I know I have a choice of what I want to talk about. I'm not trying to become like a Zelda-themed channel. This is just something that was on my mind that I am excited for because it's coming out soon, and that's Tears of the Kingdom. While I was playing Breath of the Wild, with my experience, I bought it on the Wii U, and then I bought it again on the Switch just because I loved it so much. But both times that I played it, there was just something missing that I couldn't really put my finger on, that I was really hoping that they, if there was a sequel, they would fix and bring out, was then my experience with Elden Ring. I absolutely had a blast with Elden Ring. To be like that, like engrossed in a game is very rare, and so I spent more time playing Elden Ring off-stream than on-stream, which is really crazy to think about. You know, Breath of the Wild was good, but it definitely wasn't as dense as something compared to Elden Ring. It's just like everywhere you go in that game, there's so much stuff that you can do at every corner. I just want Elden Ring, but in Zelda form. Take what Elden Ring did and then plop it into a Zelda world, right? Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year when it came out. Pretty sure it was 2017 that it won Game of the Year. And then Elden Ring won Game of the Year. And we always joked around that it was no coincidence that Nintendo delayed Tears of the Kingdom for a little bit. Oh, they delayed it because Elden Ring won Game of the Year, and they're like, holy shit, dude, like, we got a lot of stuff to fix because we got to do what they did. We got to do something, which I'm hoping for, but I don't want to get my hopes up. This is all just like hype talk, this is just me speaking about what my expectations are for Tears of the Kingdom, and I could be completely wrong. It could be a completely different experience, but I just enjoyed everything about Elden Ring, and I just want that magic of what they did in Tears of the Kingdom when it comes out. There's just so much to do in Elden Ring, not even talking about the huge key dungeon areas. Just in the world, there's so many branching paths, just different caves that lead to mini bosses, items, and just you get rewarded for your exploration. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, like, I really don't feel like the exploration was worth the reward. You could find a shrine, or you find a Korok seed, I guess. If you're going the completionist route, I guess that's what you're looking for. But even the weapons that you find as a reward for exploration, they have durability. So it's like you get a very temporary reward, which people may like, but I just feel like the rewards in Elden Ring for your exploration, there was so much of it, and it was worth exploring because you just found cool stuff. I'm just really hoping that Tears of the Kingdom adds more of that to the open world exploration of it, to be able to really feel like you're getting a reward for branching off the beaten path, and, oh, look, here's a random cave. Hopefully they add caves, dude. That's what I want. I really hope that they add caves. The feeling of just going into a random cave, fighting some enemies, and then getting a reward, it's just really cool, man. I don't know if it's just that, like, childlike wonder in me to where I'm wondering, what's going on in there, but I'm ranting about a cave. I don't really know. But that brings me into my next point, is that how do you fill an already established world? Tears of the Kingdom is going to be using Breath of the Wild's world, so it's something that we've already seen before. So how do you take something that didn't feel dense and then add more to it to make it dense, but to make it make sense from the continuity of a Breath of the Wild standpoint? I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just hoping that they have really given that a lot of thought, because I really hope that they just add more, because that was my whole problem, was that there just wasn't enough. But that also brings me into the next point, is that in the trailers of Tears of the Kingdom, the very short trailers that we've gotten these past, like, God, 4 years? It's been such a long time. It seems like that this game is going to focus a lot more on vertical exploration, which I know whenever I talked about it in my Ocarina of Time video that I wasn't the biggest fan of vertical dungeons, but I'm open, I'm hesitant, I'm willing to see how well they do this. Tears of the Kingdom is going to have a lot of Skyward Sword references, which I'm very excited about. So I'm very open and interested to see how they do the vertical exploration and the islands in the sky, and how that brings a new sense of wonder to a world that we've already seen before. Why not also, we're all fans of underwater sections in Zelda games, but hear me out. There's so much potential for underwater, like an underwater dungeon or just an underwater town or anything in Tears of the Kingdom, because you just see how much ocean and water is in Breath of the Wild. Like, I know that the Zoras in Breath of the Wild are freshwater Zoras, and there's, the whole talk in different timelines about saltwater Zoras and freshwater Zoras. I'm no scientist about it. I don't know. Evolution's weird. Random tidbit, it was always just a weird thing in my brain to where I was like, okay, so if the world flooded in Wind Waker, Zoras evolved into birds? Because that makes a whole lot of sense. But then everybody's like, oh, because they were freshwater Zoras. They can't breathe in saltwater. And I'm like, okay, like, I guess. Fish evolving into bird when world is big ocean water. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I thought about. But anyway, the exploration, I feel like, could open up so vastly if you go up and down. It would just bring so many new areas to explore in that already established world. I think they could do a lot with it if they tried. I don't know how they would do it, but I'm just really hoping, dude. Elden Ring set such high expectations for me in terms of world exploration. It's just like, I need it. I need it in my life. Like, I need to take 5 steps in any direction to be rewarded. I need that dopamine hit in my brain. I need reward for do good deed, okay? I need that satisfaction. Give me armor, give me weapons. I don't know, dude. Not to mention the open world areas, but also the dungeon areas in Elden Ring are so huge. They're like their own separate game. The shrines were okay in Breath of the Wild. It was a nice little change of pace. It was short and sweet. It didn't overstay its welcome unless you did all 120 of them. I just really miss the old formulas of the dungeons in Zelda. Keep the open world aspect. Bring back the dungeons. The four like guardian dungeons that you do in that game all look the same. It's all the same gimmick. You have to go into your little Sheikah slate and move everything around. The dungeon designs of old Zelda games were so good, and it's just like Elden Ring did it so well, dude. Like, you just be exploring in an open world, and then all of a sudden you're just in this big place that takes you hours. It's a whole separate experience, and it's so satisfying, and they made it fit so well. I don't know how Tears of the Kingdom is gonna do it. If they do it in an already established world on the ground, if it's gonna all be in the sky, I'll take it, man. If there's like big old dungeons in the sky for some reason that we didn't see before last game, I'll take it, man. I want the old Zelda formula back, mixed in with that open world goodness. A little section that I wanted to talk about was Elden Ring's combat compared to Tears of the Kingdom's combat. And I enjoyed Breath of the Wild's combat. I really liked how me as a player and somebody else as a player could take 2 combat situations and do them completely differently based on how we like to play. More so about the combat that I wasn't really a huge fan of is the durability in the Zelda games. I think it's a cool idea. It's just very annoying when you have like your favorite weapons that you want to hold on to and you don't want to use, but then you never use them, so they just stay in your inventory because you don't want to break them because they're powerful. It was just like, I'm very much an item hoarder in video games, and so when I find a good weapon, I am very much I'm not going to use this unless I absolutely have to, because I don't want it to break, and then I have my weak weapons. So kind of how I was spinning my ideas about how durability could be handled in Tears of the Kingdom. 1, just get rid of it. Just let it go. Like other Zelda games don't have durability. It was fine. It's just maybe they could lessen the variety or types of weapons in the game and just have Link master those classes and have one weapon per class that doesn't break, or it has just an insanely high durability. The second thing that seems more likely to me, instead of them just outright getting rid of durability, is adding a blacksmith. Just add a blacksmith, whoever it is, somewhere. Like, give me the ability to repair my favorite weapons. That's all I want. It's just, if I have a weapon that I really enjoy, that I don't want to lose, and if it breaks, then I'm sad, give me an option to go to a homie to pay money to him to repair it so I can just go on throughout my day. Dark Souls does that. I don't think people realize that would be such a quality of life improvement. It's so small, but so simple. It's so easy. Just give me a blacksmith. I don't care if it's just a random homie hanging out in the sky. I was going to say Goron, but I don't know how Gorons would get up in the sky. How would they do that? I don't know. But I want something. Give me something. Just any sort of way to repair my weapons. So durability is not much of an issue. Like, you know, maybe there's an argument to be said about how people like the durability. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's people out there who really, really love it. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I just give the players who don't like the durability options an option. Because that's the thing. If you like the durability, you don't have to use the blacksmith if you don't want to. You know, like, it's just, I want the option to be there. Please. Going kind of on a subsection of the, you know, dungeon talk is that what would the bosses look like for said dungeons? And I might be in the minority. I'm not quite sure. I would love to know your opinion in the comments, but I really want more humanoid bosses. I wasn't really a huge fan in Elden Ring. For those of you who played it, you may know this. There's just like one too many dragons in that game. And I much prefer the humanoid boss fights in Elden Ring compared to the dragons on dragons on dragons on dragons. It's a similar thing to be said about Breath of the Wild. I really didn't have, like, an emotional tie towards really any of the bosses in the game because, one, they all kind of look the same. You know, Calamity things all kind of look very similar, and they were subsets of Ganon. So they were like blights, you know, like the blight Ganons. And then you fight Calamity Ganon, and it's just an amalgamation of all of them put together. And then it's like, oh, dude, you beat Calamity Ganon? He's so fucking pissed. He gave up his entire, like, hope of reincarnation that he just turned into this angry pig beast. That's such an easy final boss. That's also my other complaint, is that I know Nintendo makes games for kids, but also they're the fans who've been with Zelda since it came out, you know? And I really think that Calamity Ganon was way harder, wasn't really that hard, way harder than just a pig sitting still shooting some lasers at you occasionally. You know what I mean? I want a sense of struggle at the end of my game. I want something that feels good. It didn't do it perfectly, but if I'm comparing this to any other Zelda game, Twilight Princess did it well. That final fight in the ring could have been more difficult, but still, more of what I'm looking for here. Wind Waker, also a good example. It was just, you know, again, not the hardest thing on the planet, but he was pretty difficult for people playing Wind Waker for the first time, you know? That's more of what I'm looking for as like a final boss fight, which I think they did a really good job of in the Breath of the Wild DLC. And you fight that Sheikah homie, I forget his name, it's been forever, but that is more of what I'm looking for. And I think Nintendo knows it because they added that as a boss fight. I hope Nintendo's looking at Elden Ring. I really do. It won Game of the Year. It deserved it. I'm one of those guys who's like, hell yeah, dude. I should have said this first, but Elden Ring was my first FromSoft game. I've never played any other Dark Souls game before, so I don't have that Dark Souls experience in the past to make myself love that game. You're taking someone who has never played a Souls game before, isn't very good at video games. I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'd suck. Being able to play that game for as long as I did and enjoy it, it took up like 2 weeks of my life, dude. Being able to just enjoy that game and love it as much as I did, I feel like it speaks volumes to just how good that game was, how well they did the open world design, the rewards you get for exploration, the dungeon areas and how big they are and just how good the bosses are, even though, you know, some of them are big, humanoid, whatever, you know, it's not perfect, but it is more of what I'm looking for is what I'm trying to get at. And, you know, it's probably too late to be said because it's coming out in May, so they're probably, like, wrapping it up, and they probably have it all done, but I just really hope that they're paying attention. And if not for this game, hopefully the next game that comes out in like 10 years, because God, I'll be in my 30s and I'll be an old man and I'll still be playing Nintendo games and I'll still be playing Zelda. So again, I would love to hear your opinions in the comments. Are you hyped for Tears of the Kingdom as much as I am? Did you really love Elden Ring? Are you hoping that they bring some Elden Ring aspects, or maybe another game? Maybe there's another game I haven't played or thought of that there's some core mechanics that you want to see brought into Tears of the Kingdom. Write it down in the comments and just let's all share the hype for Tears of the Kingdom, because it's coming out. It's coming out a lot sooner than we think, dude. I can wait a few months, but I'm just hoping that I'm not let down. I just want, I have expectations, and I'm trying to tell myself, you know, like, don't get disappointed, because most likely they're not all going to come true, or none of them. But again, that's just all my thoughts on that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. There's a lot of new faces here. So hi, my name is Edak, for those of you who don't know me. To shamelessly plug all of my stuff, if you found me on YouTube, I also have a Twitch that I stream on. It's mainly what I do, twitch.tv/EDACattack. If you wanted to check me out live and hang out with all the other friendos over there while we play other games that aren't Zelda, I promise I'm not just a Zelda guy. I love the franchise a lot. But if you want to see us play some other stuff, we would love to have you over there and hang out while we're live as well. I'm playing Dark Souls 3 right now on stream. I'm kind of playing them in a backwards order. So really been liking Dark Souls 3. So if you are a Souls fan and you want to come hang out and watch me die a lot, because again, I'm not good at video games, come hang out. That's going to be it for me. Appreciate you guys so much. Peace out, Girl Scouts. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Peace out.